What's going on, everyone? It's Corner Streets of the Arcadia Network once again, signing on and pressing start on a brand new video. Welcome back to Honkai Impact Part 2, Phase 3 of Chapter 1. Last time we started this phase and, well, a lot of gobbledygook happened that I cannot explain for the life of me. But what I can explain is that using the communicators on the Anchor of Apocalypse, the group reported Perception's theory to Shen. The theory being that, one of the theories being that Duo here, the dog, wants to swap the locations of Oxia and this place, where Oxia, where we come from, is now more susceptible to the shadows. Let's see what Shen thinks, shall we? Well, I've just heard a discussion through the intelligent monitor on Corona. The Institute will research this matter and check the potential target points. Meanwhile, you should adapt to the situation and find a way to cut off that connection in Lanku. There's something you can try, but it's probably a gamble. A gamble? Oh, I love playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Or gacha games. Or pulling cards. Yes, the only way is, all of you must die right now. The sooner the better. Again, please explain your dark joke. The sooner the better. This time is no joke. To some extent, the Pool of Shadows is gradually becoming a part of Duo. Its attention is focused on pulling out 7 nails and freeing the Pool of Shadows from its constraints. So, by jumping into the Pool of Shadows now, there's a good chance you'll find a way to separate the two. That doesn't sound like a gamble to me. That sounds like a slide. And what will happen after we jump into the Pool of Shadows? Since you aren't actually dying, you won't reach the end of your lives like in the Line Q nutrition. But if Duo has no intent of trying to assimilate it, you'll have to endure being entangled within the 10 faces of misery, which is worse than death. In other words, jumping in isn't suicide if Duo assimilates the Pool of Shadows, right? That's right. In this case, you'll be much safer because the Toss Shadow has no intention of harming you, but you have to seize the right time to enter. You mean, this is more like jumping into its belly. Exactly. Once it notices anything wrong and decides to do something, you'll have no way to resist. Even with your help? With my help, the chance of you winning will be over 99%. Isn't that pretty promising? Not really. The chance of you getting my help is 50%. Song, what do you think? Well, I'd like to say a few things. Like, one person should be left on guard, and I happen to be quite good at it. Jokes aside, if what you say is true, I can't just watch a few outsiders solve life's trouble on their own. Reputation matters in my line of work. So, as long as we have the right timing, it doesn't really matter if we have another shoe helping us, right, Perception? Right. But I still don't understand what Duo is really after. Things won't end well if we wake my master. Master? Duo aside, how do we seize this opportunity? It can't be purely based on luck, I assume. Of course not. Although we didn't expect to reach this point, we did prepare in advance. Don't forget our trip to Amber Street earlier. You mean the fireworks? Right, and I know exactly where the other nails are. We just need to wait and see where the fireworks crack. Oh yeah, we should go seal the nails on this side first. It won't be long before we go see the fireworks. Yeah, I'll go and find the next nail, but first let's... Oh my god, this is... Ooh. Got it. Smart. Ignore last week. Well, 2 weeks ago on the video when I thought I had lost everything. Ignore that. I'm smart. I promise. I am. Right? You guys are doing here so soon? Yeah, because I gained immediate results when sealing a nail. Wait, here we go. Kill these guys? Oh, I think we do. Man, I think we're gonna kill these guys. Damn. Get this flying out my face! I don't know how I'm hitting that so much. Oh, this is the... Oh my god, I have failed some research, clearly. Still no movement. Should we look at the next nail? I'll take some healing. Because, why wouldn't you take some healing? If I'm right, this might go under the other thing. Wait, why can't I? Is this gonna go under this thing? Because then we unlock this area here, which will be good. Oh! Huh? That voice! That location. Right, it's close to the nail. I'm certain. Hurry, over here. Did it really refuse to let me unlock that? Oh, song, come on. I'm still ahead, darling. I'm waiting for you. I'm not an idiot. Yeah, here we go. Finally, under here. Is it here? When you mentioned it earlier, I thought it's safe to enter from a tributary. If we really enter from the pool of shadows we saw before, as Perception said, even if we don't drown, oopsie-daisy, little hiccup on the translation side, but that's okay. We accept it here because it's only fair. They're delivering us a great story. Let's be honest. Would inevitably be contaminated by the 10 faces of misery. In times like this, you should leave someone to be on guard. I think Krona is better at that. Did you just repeat what I said? Yeah, I did it on purpose. Although catching the leader first was my idea, if Krona has any mishaps, none of you will leave Lanku alive. Wow, Shen, I didn't know you could be so frightening. But don't worry, as long as I'm here, Krona will be fine. That doesn't sound convincing at all. Well, as a tool, what I'm about to say may be a bit arbitrary. But if you're psychologically opposed to entering the pool of shadows, I have another solution. What kind of solution? Tell us. I gave this to Miss Caroline once. In normal times, I could only do this with an equivalent exchange, but since this is an emergency... You gave it to me once? Wait. Did she push her in? Son of a bitch. Oh. Meanwhile, the silent ground of death welcomed its first trace of vitality after a century. This pool was born from ritualistic sacrifice and continued to exist due to numerous deaths. Right now, the ones in search might not just be a few outsiders. In this unknown corner of the world, a death that was long destined to happen replayed at countless times. And the beast that stirred the fate of Lancre with its own strength was, and still is, a seeker in the death it voluntarily avoided a century ago. Litost, you don't have to do this. After today, you'll truly get what you want. Could it be... Is everyone alright? How is this different from diving down directly? And why Amber Street? Huh? This is my first time inside, but just look at this place. All these stars. They include in all the ominous signs. Only a place filled with shadows could be this inauspicious. The singer from Oxia? No, I can't reach outside. It's natural. Because this isn't an ordinary space. It's not tightly linked with the anchor of Apocalypse. Looks like we'll have to use some of my mad skills. I may be lazy sometimes, but I'm not all talk. And I won't give my opinion on that for now. So, where should we start looking then? It looks like everywhere here is the same. Yeah, Song, can you or Perception find the dog's trail? It should be quite easy, so as long as we're still in Lanku. Before we set off, there's a few things to remember. Did you see Amber Street just now? For over a century, this pool of shadows has been buried. No, I wasn't trying to be offensive, sorry. Countless people have resided in this pool of shadows, so anything could happen. No matter what sounds you hear, ignore them. Even if you feel like someone's tapping on your shoulder, don't turn around. Also, stay close. Never go more than 3 steps away from me. Is this place haunted? It sure is. The Pool of Shadows is basically a graveyard for Lanku. Or the underworld. Either way, the shadows are up most like monsters and demons. What a strange day. I was asleep, had a dream, then encountered people with superpowers, aliens, people from another world. Maybe meeting a time traveler will make this day complete. And now we've jumped into another world's underworld to chase a dog. Seems like all the elements are complete, but I'm not feeling that nervous. Now you say it, that's quite accurate. Where's the doctor? Yeah, for Lanku, this is a matter of life and death. Not feeling nervous. Isn't that because of the native next to us? Since this is a matter of life and death for the world, let's take a nap first. I don't know why, but I feel like it's something that she'll say. Me? I don't think so. Lanku's my home. Why would anyone be anxious at home? Even if a dog was about to demolish your house? Well, that's not a big deal. It'd be strange if Duo didn't do anything earth-shattering. If it really comes to that, well, let's talk about that later. Whether it's my master or something else, neither of us can easily be taken down. And perhaps Krona's safety is more important. Shen would skin us alive if anything happened to you. Shen isn't that scary. I think having you and Perception by our side makes everyone feel at ease. Thank you for the compliment. So, should we set off now? And please do keep in mind the things I mentioned earlier. We're all gonna get split up, aren't we? We're gonna split up. Are you afraid of the dark? Me? that's funny. Just a little. Didn't I tell you to all stick close to me? So that's why. Oh, bless her, huh? Look! White. Ah! Flashbang! But this place looks so desolate, huh? Isn't that supposed to be a bunch of bizarre phenomenon? This actually proves that Duo is finding it difficult to control the pool of shadows. God, my eyes are hurting. Give me a second. You guys have to read this just while I just rub my eyes. Oh, shadows! Anchor time! I was literally about to ult. Don't waste my ult, please. This is... It's the same as what I saw upon arriving in Lanku. Does it belong to the past? You should know what kind of being I am. Yes. The deep-seated fear within. I have nothing else. Then you should also know that I can easily set you free. Yes, but I don't want you to. I understand now. Although it was unbelievable, you were just a mortal. And yet, you accomplished things far beyond the capabilities of any mortal. And after all this, your first request is... Yes, kill me. Please. I won't resist in any way. After accumulating for a century, the pool of shadow has been corrupted by too much will. Perhaps for the residents, the scene before them was why they chose to end their lives. Meaningless or not, though that girl, or through that girl, they knew that when their shadows completely vanished, their will and memories would remain as ripples on the dark pool forever. And because of this, everything that happened in that prison room spanned a century and reappeared. Naturally, its confusion was also left here. I understand your confusion. There's no need to go against your natural instincts. Please, just do it. I'm a threat, so I should probably be eliminated as soon as possible. A threat? You said it yourself. I've done unthinkable things. In fact, I had no fear, because you couldn't have been born from that. To see you, I intentionally made myself feel fear. When facing an ordinary person, the man might be considered delusional. At the time, the ability to freely control one's fear and gain strength from the shadows was still an unclear concept. But this man undoubtedly achieved it. It's extremely difficult, and an utterly useless trick. As the calamity ravaged the world, I gave birth to a monster that coexisted with me in this space. They said they had no intelligence, and their only instinct was to destroy everything they saw. Extremely dangerous, utterly meaningless, but it's quite suitable for me to meet my end. Although, it seems that the fear I forced upon myself isn't too great. You're much weaker than I imagined. Even so, something like biting someone's throat shouldn't be difficult for you. Why is that? Freak. It repeated in its mind. My situation is obvious. Although it was unintentional, I still committed a mortal sin. For that, I threw myself in prison to atone for my sins. But this price is still not enough. Only my life can make up for what I did. So come on, follow your instincts. This is the reason you exist. Ha 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 ha. You truly have no fear of death. Or rather, you can't wait to die. That's annoying. Following my instincts and killing you would be meaningless, since death isn't what you fear. Tell me your name, my unfamiliar other half. Let me know in the long time to come. Who exactly will I torture? That dog was cute when it was born. It's a little bit fierce now though, doesn't it? It's not just that. It's one of the 10 faces of misery, so it's extremely dangerous. But, so, I remember correctly. The shoes should be able to fight against the 10 faces, right? In that case, did we just witness Latost being turned into the shoe of sacrifice? I guess so. So, for him to become a shoe is to be unafraid of death? From the scene we just witnessed, didn't he gain the power to manipulate shadows because Duo became interested in him? It's the other way round, silly. He became a shoe before Dong was born. Duo. Otherwise, him intentionally making himself feel fear, being much weaker than he imagined, would be weird. Before? I also struggle to understand it all. But, thinking about it carefully, whether it's the fear gathering or the disaster recorded in Noxia's history, they have some things in common. The same goes for the man we just saw. Shadows spawn from fear, and shadows give birth to everything? You're right. People who are unafraid of death shouldn't be that rare in any world. I think what he truly did was force himself to be afraid of death, while not fearing death. So, intentionally or not, he utilized the rules of shadow. Correlate, isn't that a bit contradictory? Yes, it is. That's why there are only a few shoes. To tame their own fears. Is that what it means? Not to eliminate it, but also control it skillfully? That's too difficult. If it was just a case of not being afraid, then maybe I could compete. If that was a... No. One more awakened shoe. The chaos caused by Duo wouldn't be worth mentioning. 17. Only 17 remain. 17 what? Seconds? Lives? Wait, this... That's not me. This is pointless. You're just a dog after all. He is not just a dog! The wind of oblivion will eventually blow over everything, leaving only a boundless sky in its wake. Some create meaning. While? While? If all stars plummet, I will learn to observe an empty sky and feel the solemnity of its crushing darkness. Didn't she say that? Didn't she say that to us? I'm sure she said that to us. Nice try. Latost, I'm not trying to understand you. Balance. Haven't you just been doing nothing this whole time? I'd say the same to you. Duo. You've tried your best to prevent me from dishonoring the name of sacrifice over the years. But you've also acted so willingly that it's impossible for me to leave no traces in this world. In other words, you're doing it on purpose so that I never get what I want. Didn't I make it clear when we first met? Torture. Well, it doesn't matter anymore. Yeah, you don't need to understand me. A million years may not be enough to build this bridge, but I'm willing to transport tirelessly for decades. I cannot gaze at the wonders on the other side of emptiness, living such a long, long life. Stop it. You weren't this annoying before. It spoke so harshly, but the relationship seemed pretty good. I see. Latost's sacrifice wasn't used to counter the 10 Faces of Misery on purpose, but he never changed his mind, even after becoming a shoe. And to ensure Latost never got what he wants, Duo used his power of Shadows to help him live forever. Oh, is there also a record of something similar in that relic from your research institute? A man does something over and over, seemingly atoning for his sins, yet also seeking revenge. Yeah, it was hard to confirm who he was at the time, but now... Yeah, this Latost is very eccentric. Well, you don't know the half of it. Latost doesn't want to die, and be done with it, but to die with no traces of him left behind, which is very difficult. I remember you mentioning that he's used to erasing all traces he leaves behind. Exactly. Living and dying may be easy, but that's not the case for Latost's wish.
He wants it to be like nothing happened. Seriously? So that means if I eat 3 buns, 4 pieces of cake, 5. Anyway, after eating, if I want to eat all traces, it's not enough to just sneak around. I also need to erase all the consequences that come with it and make it look like it never happened. That's it. Wouldn't I have to regrow the gains I ate? I don't know how Lotus did it, but it's almost like inventing a perpetual motion machine. So his real goal is to die as if he had never been born? Bingo. What's his name? Oh! It sounds like a hopeless effort, but to be honest, whether he succeeds or not, it's destined to be utterly meaningless. That's why I said the relationship is so weird that no one would understand. Throughout the journey, Duo listened to Latost and went on to great lengths to ensure Latost's karma remained basically unchanged. Less here, more there. Is that what it meant by torture? To prevent him from ever achieving his goal? But everything has to start from somewhere, right? Before becoming a Shu and having this bizarre idea, what mortal sin did Latost commit? I can't tell, and I guess no one can. And it probably has nothing to do with the problem that we're currently trying to solve. Doubt. Alright. If it's in the order of our journey, then the next is... Well... This... Could it be? The moment when Elton Latost achieved his goal. Uncle explicitly mentioned it. It was actually a good thing for him. Did he really achieve his goal? Since we still remember him today, the answer is probably no. As for that so-called mortal sin, no one knows what it was. He used to say that he could truly create the pool of shadows. The incident from the past could be offset. Oh, if he could create a pool of shadow. And that was the only way to do it. I can vaguely guess what it was. But you must know that this is truly irredeemable. Master? Flashbang! Due to the damage there, the man's face wasn't clear. My insignificant selfishness couldn't escape your eyes. Well, I guess no secrets could escape your knowledge. Are you here to blame me? Why can I blame you for, my friend? The pool of shadows that flow through the entire land thanks to you is the only way to stabilize the world we create. No matter what happens in the future, we'll only stand a chance if you die today. Shus have been like this from the very beginning, mastering some extraordinary means to stand above the 10 forces of misery, exercise evil, and avert disasters from the world. As for the Shuba sacrifice, once the will to survive has awakened in you, you will inevitably lose what makes you unique and return to being ordinary. Nothing is surprising about that. Not being recognized as a Shu doesn't mean people won't be constrained by their own path. But you're right. Once I want to live, I ironically lose the meaning of life. There's no need to belittle yourself like that. The nothingness you pursue seems nearly impossible to me anyway. You think you've cleared everything at this moment, but the death you're about to experience will tear apart much of what exists. With a life like that, you're destined to be remembered. But right now, I can do nothing but bid farewell. At least for you. Letting you die might be more merciful than forcing you to live, and more intimate. I thought only Duo could understand it. But I haven't forgot what you said back then. Exercising evil and averting disasters cannot reach the root. For you and me, the meaning of every Shu is different from what people think. You and I merely survive to wait for something that will inevitably destroy everything. And then find out whether the seven means can snatch a glimmer of hope from it. In my opinion, you shouldn't tolerate my death, Wish. Perhaps. You and I,
There are countless things we've messed up. If they can be remedied, people will spare no effort to do so. However, just like your actions during the panic on Amber Street, even among the shoes, you're the only one who can always find a way. That's precisely why I don't think the path seems to be seeking personal gain, pulling against me in your death. We'll stop here. You got me. Yes, your remains are gradually transforming into the pool of shadows. But it's not a stream without its source. You granted Duo the source. Therefore, Duo won't die with you. Instead, it'll be almost eternally in Lanku. If it's not restrained given time, it can even manipulate the pool of shadows at will. So what? As one of the 10 Faces of Misery, it lacks the spirit and has no idea how to use its power. Even with time, it'll still be easily defeated and die at the hands of an opponent that's powerful enough. It's not just that. I don't want you to misunderstand. Although it'll never admit it, perhaps one day, Dill will do something foolish to help me achieve my long-term wish. For this purpose, I should answer it. And you can view this as my only purpose. What happened to you in this world? They're just casual arrangements. Interesting. To ensure the survival of Lanku, you must die at this moment and create a pool of shadows and bring the inevitable moment you must live. And to bring in the inevitable moment you must live. These two don't actually contradict. But do you really have confidence in it? Or rather, this is why I secretly rejoice in your arrival. Besides bidding farewell, I can also make a bold gamble with a deity among mortals. Just like how I created Duo. So long as it has enough time, you'll see. Based on how much we understand each other one day, I'll reappear in the world as its fear. Well, Master never told me about these things. So, does that mean the toast was prepared to turn to a shadow monster? Of a shadow monster when he died? That way, he'd be both dead and alive? Like a game? Is he going and doing bikini, volleyball and stuff now? Why is she kind of doing this weird, like, holographic shape? Why is everyone doing it, but Senadina isn't? You really understand odd things very quickly. Why is Latos so confident anyway? I'm not either. Were they mutually afraid by standing by each other's side all along? It's hard to say. Is fearing the other's death like fear of the other? She is not either! Anyway, what is Duo really after? If he wants to release the power of the pool of shadows, does it mean it wants to make Latos' death equal to nothing in its own way? That doesn't seem to be the focus right now. And now she's fine. Huh? Since it has such close connections with the pool of shadows, don't you think we miscalculated something important? Then to liberate the pool of shadows, it only needs to release itself from the restraint. In other words, it needs to pull out the nail? In that case, helping you will enter the pool of shadows was a safer plan. Corona indeed has received Latos' protection. No! There's no time to explain! It took so much time, and who knows? Perception, get us out of here now! Uh-oh! Shit hit the fan, and it hit it hard. Over here! How come all of a sudden? Remember when I told you there's a nail that he can never pull out? It's the most important thing my master left behind. He's definitely incapable of pulling out from the outside. But if there's a connection between it and the pool of shadows... Oh, we've wasted so much time, this is bad. Oh, I can't grab it right now. I have to run. Oh. Uh-oh. Oh. Give me 1 second. Thank goodness. We've almost caught up. But it's probably gonna win, isn't it? Hey, this is under the anchor. Hey, we finally get to see what's under here. Oh, hang on. Gotta allow it access. We're gonna try normal mode. If we die, we'll run it back on with HP protection. But I'm guessing this is a boss. Oh, not again. Hey, at least I have a cool superhero landing. What the hell? That is cool. That's his truth. Oh, he's a hellhound. I love it. Oh, theme as well. Oh, dodge. I do notice he's got 2 stages though. So I am slightly concerned about 2 stages here. I don't know what he's doing. I'm gonna pull this up. Ah! He shouldn't have really hit with that, but okay. What? I'm guessing Song kind of... Whoa! Break the armor? Hello? Am I playing Monster Hunter? I'm apparently playing Monster Hunter and breaking armor here! Let's fucking go! Break his tail, 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 break his tail. Okay, Honkai. Can we have a big meeting of dog enemies and have goddamn... what's his name from Genshin meeting this pup? Ow, hey, I was coming in! I was coming in and coming out! What we got? What would you have for an animation for a second phase? We've seen Honkai Star Rail do really good one. What? He's combining with it. Okay. Whoa. Beat drop. It's turning into a fucking Cerberus right now. Why is nobody listening to me? It's such an important song. Because this is an epic battle theme. I don't know what you're talking about, song. Why would I listen to you? This theme. Oh, I want to see a Final Fantasy crossover with this game so badly. Oh god, she's low on health. Problem is he's making the shadow as well. And the shadow drains my health. So I need to actually come back and just do some recon like this. Woo! Hello! What are you doing? What are you doing? You've got no health bar. Oh, of course. Are you kidding me right now? Ah! Oh my god, we're actually attacking the dog. Remember guys, I do not condone actually attacking dogs. This one's an evil shadow guy though, so... Oh my god, this multi-stage fight is flipping badass! Oh my god, we have to deal with each of their heads? I've tried something to heal Senadina right now, to be honest. I wish I could heal everyone. This is getting a little nutty. Right, we knocked the dog down at least. I mean, I got some health back. That's good. That's good. We like getting health back right now. He's charging. Where you going, big boy? Oh, you're not doing this again, are you? How did that not hit? Dog's back. Duo's back. Whoa! I only have this kind of reaction timing for some of these attacks because of previous bosses. Literally deliberately swapping just so I can just... He's on the ground. He should be good. Senadina, finish it! Woo! My God! Oh my God, that's awesome! The game's not going to be over yet. There's got to be more to the story than this. Do you get it? Your power's expelled. Oh no, I do not want to skip. Is it finally over? Strange. It seemed like it still had some energy just now. Look! What did you do? Oh. So you really are a talking dog. You're the dog. It's simple in theory. In that space you will fought for, at your weakest moment, I severed the connection between you and the pool of shadows. Now you can no longer use any shadow power from the outside. Were you doing this the whole time? No wonder you've been missing since the beginning. Not really. Leaving the pool of shadows isn't as easy as you all think. After trying to meet your demands, due to consuming an unimaginable amount of power, my will ended up trapped there. Duo, if you hadn't been so eager to squander the pool of shadows' power, I wouldn't have recovered back then. But since Duo prepared for so long, no wonder the pathway inexplicably opened. Anyway, now we can finally talk to you. I understand the resentment you have for this place, but the thing is, everyone's living a pretty good life now. Resentment? What do you mean? Oh, you're right. Some create meaning within this, while others dissolve it. As for me, I merely seek balance. I guess no one thinks that the two have had any justice in the past, right? What you just said, why does it sound like you were reciting it? Duo, you really don't understand. You don't even have anything to gain from what you're doing. Song recounted the group's experiences even, in the pool of shadows in an exaggerated tone. Duo didn't raise any questions. Instead, it was Shen who threw out various questions as they started communicating again. I wasn't trying to convince you. But for the sake of the pool of shadows, can you stop it? Yeah, according to Oxia's laws, an adept cannot be called to account. Although the ones who defeated it extended an olive branch, it seemed that Duo still hadn't come to its senses. Even though it was well aware that the disappearance of the figure just now was due to the restraint, it still continued to blink forcefully. Everything Song recounted was not secret to Duo. The toast had already revealed the outcome to it. Yet, after a moment of hesitation, it chose to hide its situation and remain silent. That's ridiculous. Too ridiculous. Even so. Why does he think he can become my fear? I was just trying. Since reasoning didn't work, I can only use the last resort. With a puzzled expression on its face, Duo immediately understood what the last resort was. Leave it to me. With an impressive strength, the girl grabbed the dog from under its body and lifted it in the air. What are you doing? Let go! Just a moment ago, it could single-handedly confront everyone present, but now, It seemed to have no way to resist apart from swinging its short legs. Huh? Do you know what you're doing? Wait, your voice. You were speaking with a suppressed voice the whole time? Okay, fine. Although it can't stir up any trouble right now, I won't cover things up for it. Cover things up? What do you know? What have you been lying about? Yeah, don't you remember? It's time to find a way to expel the evil from you. Even if you're in great shape now, just to be safe, we'll have to take turns watching over you and prevent any accidents from happening. Also, with things getting so serious, we need an explanation for when others ask. Explanation? Surely she isn't planning on... Well, Miss Song's been quite sensible this time. If you want to cut off the shadow infiltrating Oxia at the source, you might have to stay in Lanku for a few more days. So you're the reason why Krona got involved in so much trouble, right? If you can help us get rid of the evils of your own, I'll buy you premium canned food when I return to Oxia. This probably won't work for Dong. It's just a dog after all. You're the dog. I'm not a cat! Okay, Morgana, calm the fuck down. Hey, and you. Stop touching my tail, let me go! Oh, sorry. Couldn't help myself. But please continue. Anyway, although it should have never have happened, if we want to restore everything, we need to wake up a Shu. Maybe this is just the beginning. It could be. It took a lot of effort, but in the end, we only prevented things from getting worse. True. With so many people escorting you, treating it as your internship assignment may get you a pretty high score. Perhaps it'll even be enough to publish a paper. I suddenly feel that having to go to school is quite terrifying. You have no idea, Senadina. In terms of scientific research, this is rather interesting. I can't tell if this is good news or bad news. Right, Coralie? From the one we just encountered, it would seem the principles followed by the Shus made them quite difficult to deal with. So, what should we do next? How about we ask Perception first? It's simple. When breaking free from the pool of shadows, considering that some of you didn't have me around when you were facing Duo, I've planned a detailed funeral process for you all, as well as the dining arrangements from the participants. Isn't it a bit too early for that? Girl, you want us to die already? Really? Bruh, I know you just told us to... You just low-tier godded us earlier. You should yourself. Now! No, Perception. We won't. No. Although the funeral process is no longer needed, the dining arrangements might be timely. Ah. Right! You must all be hungry by now. Wait, before we talk about eating, should we keep an eye out for that dog first? Don't worry about that. Now that I've constrained it, it can no longer draw any power from the shadows. You can easily defeat the monsters lurking in Lanku, but every one of them would be able to cook Duo. Bitch, you want to say that again? I'll fucking gnaw your kneecaps! Until it let us surprise to cry, Duo's escape plan seemed to be going smoothly. In fact, if not for Helia, it would have almost sneaked out of the building. But after Perception's recent remark, I should finish what I started. Taking care of you is annoying, but let's regard it as cleaning up my own mess. Upon saying this, following an almost identical path, it walked straight back. Since the reason behind it was so clear to everyone, its world sounded somewhat humorous. Good dog. Shall we start out again after we finish eating, or return to the starting point and find other Shus? Speaking of, what kind of people were the others? Will they be as interesting as Latost? It's okay to ask, are they also weirdos? Well, I can't really say for sure. I'll think carefully about who to look for first. Besides me, some can also be considered gentle. Meanwhile, somewhere in Lanku, the striking quietness of this place could be attributed to its characteristics. Though few chose to bury themselves here, it was still another mass burial site outside the Pool of Shadows. Rattle. It sounded like someone was loading bullets, but almost inaudible. Thud. It sounded like someone was walking by, but the footsteps were gentle. For her, all of this didn't require much preparation, but could happen in any second. Hello, not Kafka. Wait, aren't you another one of the stews? First, what? I should go get my gun, despite loading bullets into something. And with that, we complete the first, second, and third phase of the first chapter of part 2. This does mean that there may be a break after this video, depending on how much is done before or after, you know, I'm not actually sure. But there might be a bit of a break eventually, because obviously, as you can tell, we can't stream this every week. You know, there's going to be a time when we'll probably run out of episodes. But for now, guys, for the recording, this is it. And Crush Meat signing off and out. Hope everyone has a lovely day. And for those in the stream, remember to stick around.